Hi, this is Alcan. Welcome back to my channel. Well, we have an interesting story here. It seems like some journalists at the BBC across the pond, as they would say, are fed up with their union because they wanted their members to wear colors to coincide with the Palestinian flag, and they're revolted. So let's see what just happened. This is from newspaper called Voz. Says BBC journalists resigned from the union after being asked to wear clothes with the colors of the Palestinian flag. The reporters expressed outrage at the request made on the occasion of the Day of Action for Palestine. One journalist said it was like a hostile environment for Jews. That's very, very serious accusation here. Let's see. This is from Lindor Flesher. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. So, journalists from the British Broadcast Corporation announced Thursday that they are canceling their membership in the UK from the United Kingdom National Association of Journalists after the union asked its members to wear clothing in a color of Palestinian flag or a traditional Arab headscarf often worn by pro-Hamas demonstrators for the Day of Action for Palestine. British Jewish news portrayed Jewish news reported. Excuse me, I said that wrong. It was the British Jewish news portal Journal News reported. I apologize. The the NUJ, which is part of the Trade Union Congress, which groups the majority of workers in England and Wales, said it would support a ceasefire in Gaza Strip, although it also called for the release of hostages held by Hamas. Many journalists at the BBC expressed outrage at the union's request, seeing it as a violation of principle of journalistic objection, and therefore urged the association not to meddle in political issues and to distance itself from anti-Semitic stuff. So Charlotte Henry, a freelance journalist who resigned from the NUJ, argued that in the union there is a hostile environment for Jews and can no longer be part of that. Speaking to the Jewish News, a staff member at the British Broadcast Corporation called the union's request hypocritical and anti-Semitic. He added, BBC journalists who pride themselves on impurity and who fought to keep their NUJ free of politics are being encouraged to break the BBC's editorial guidelines by supporting a political cause. The Board of Deputies of British Jews, the main group representing the Jewish community in the country, lashed out in a statement against both organizations. Whenever the state intended attempt to bring this issue into the workplace in such a fashion would undoubtedly add to the belligerent atmosphere that many Jewish staffers have been facing. It says the Jewish News indicated that more NUJ members are expected to resign from the union. It's like the woke nonsense in the United States. We're having the same issues. So last September, a reporter by barrister Terence Asson, reviewed by the Telegraph, revealed that the BBC broke its own guidelines to conduct by more than 1,500 times in its coverage of the Israeli-Hamas war to demonetize the Jewish state. Television, radio, and online content, as well as podcasts and social media, were all or all analyzed by a team of 40 researchers over 4 months, and they found a deeply troubling pattern of bias. In the numbers, 1,533 violations of their own editorial guidelines, such as fairness, accuracy, and public interest, were detected. The team found that the BBC associated Israel with genocide more than 14 times more than Hamas. That's like 283 versus 19. In addition, it frequently portrays the Jewish state as a militaristic and aggressive, while downplaying the Palestinian group terrorist attacks. Like I said, they're woke, just like in the United States. Our media is biased too. The bias is partly explained and claimed by those in the media outlet staff. Some local journalists and correspondents who show sympathies for the jihad group, such as the contributor Mesa Abdul Khatik, I can't pronounce his name for anything, who called for the death of Israel. Boy, if I said that about Gaza. Or chief correspondent Lacey Dolce, who downplayed the October 7 massacre on several occasions. The report specifies target BBC Arabic, the nation Arabic language station. On 11 occasions, it used reporters who had made public statements of support for the terrorism and Hamas. Nor did it notify the audience. In addition to linking Israel with the idea of genocide, the BBC also disproportionately fostered the concept of war crimes 127 times for Israel against 30 for Hamas, and violation of international law 167 times versus 27 times. The trend was only reversed for crimes against humanity, 15 for Israel versus 22 for Hamas. The Telegraph highlights the report's findings that the public broadcast service broke its pledge to describe Hamas as a proscribable terrorist organization whenever possible, a commitment it adopted in response to the wave of criticizing for not calling Hamas member terrorists after October 7. Very interesting. However, the researchers found that the terrorist organization was described as such, proscribed, designed, or recognized as only 409 out of 12,459 times, just 3.2%. So, they did everything they can not to call them terrorists as much as possible. Is there anything else? No. But the thing is, the idea that the union would do something like that and irritated the crap out of their members, I mean, really. All I can say is that when you have a leadership like that is screwing its own members, putting them in a position that they don't want to be, in an atmosphere that right now the country is out of control in the UK, you have a prime minister that's trying to arrest people for any type of Facebook message or tweet. They want to put people away for 2 or 3 years. And they label it hate crime. There's no hate crime. You just made that up as you went along. Or you made some ridiculous law just to do this and do that. And to have a large member of your membership quit on you, it's very embarrassing, to say the least. These are people who want to be ethical, who want to do the right thing. It's not like some other members of the BBC who don't give a horse's rear end. They support the imbecile you have for a prime minister right now, and they could care less. Just like our American news organization, the CNNs and the MSNBCs, CBS and the New York Times, they do all kinds of nonsense like this. But it's nice to see that some journalists on the BBC had the guts to tell the union to shove it. So this is Outcast saying so long for now. Don't forget your stop.